Yo, what's going on, guys? Coach Chandler here, Team Swole Patrol. Today I'm going to be hooking you up with a simple but fast-acting and effective shoulder workout you can do from the comfort of your own home, as well as follow that up with my top 3 rules for building boulders for shoulders. So, without further ado, let's get on this session first. Then I'll explain to you those 3 rules that you need to plug in right now to build those cannonball delts. Alright, we got 4 rounds of this circuit. We're starting with a dumbbell overhead press complex and then moving on to a body weight movement and some isolation work. Here with it being an at-home workout, I'm just kind of working with what I got. These are lighter dumbbells, so I want to make sure I'm doing something more challenging that will negate the fact that I don't have the heavy dumbbells that I need. So I like doing these types of presses without a back because it causes you to have to really stay nice and tight and focus on keeping your core, really engaged, so that it makes it far more difficult. So trust me, whenever you're doing these types of presses without the military style bench, it's going to make it exponentially more difficult. From there, after that complex, we are going to move into a decline or feet elevated push-up, just another way to really keep stress on the delts, interior delts, and even your arms or your triceps as well. From there, we're moving on to anterior deltoid work here, just a simple front raise. A lot of people think it's just isolation, it's just for aesthetics. A lot of power lifters use these too as an accessory movement for really increasing strength and work capacity, and overall just kind of injury prevention work. Alright, to round out this circuit, we're going to do some rear delt and trap work to increase strength for stabilization in any presses, as well as to avoid any injuries caused by imbalances. Alright, so let's real quickly talk about these 3 rules that you need to follow in order to build those big-ass 3-dimensional boulders for shoulders, 3-dimensional delts. Rule number 1, train in circuits. Unlike a lot of bodybuilders might do, where they give shoulders their own day, I'm going to treat the shoulders as more of a kind of a weak point training assistance exercise type muscle group. Alright, so I'm typically going to do my shoulder routine right after either a bench press or some type of overhead press. And I like doing that for a couple reasons. One, because I'm not giving it all that focus, but they're that important, I like getting in as much volume in as short a period of time as possible, which is why I love doing circuits. It allows you to prolong the stress in this muscle group without spending too much time there, which is why circuits kick ass. Also on that note, because you're getting your heart rate up, you're putting a lot of work in little time, you're increasing your metabolic rate. So you're going to get a little bit of a fat burning effect, and that's going to give you more defined, etched out look in this region, which is definitely what you want to be going for if you want to get that big ass V-taper, wide back, big shoulder look. Rule number 2, use complex compound movements and then simple isolation movements. If you notice in the quick routine I showed you, I did my overhead press with the external load first, and then I moved on to less demanding exercises. Real simple rule there. It's kind of like the old adage, you don't want to step over dollars to pick up pennies. All right? The bulk of the results you're going to get from that routine is from the external load compound movement that you did. All right? The overhead press portion of that. So you don't want to stick that at the end and have your shoulders already burned out to where they can't handle a lot of the load from that, because that's where the bulk of the results are going to come from. After that, it's just kind of trying to be, kind of prolonging the stress in that area. So always stick with the most demanding, most effective, and most powerful exercise in your circuit first, which is always going to be some overhead press variation. Alright, and rule number 3, maintain balance to avoid injury or asymmetry. Alright, a couple things here, both for performance and for kind of bodybuilding aesthetics. Number 1, performance. If you develop just extremely strong and explosive anterior and medial delts, but don't address your posterior, you're going to run into issues with any press, all right? There's going to be stabilization issues on the bench press, overhead press, and ultimately you don't want that. Overuse injury like that is very common, especially in guys that do not address the posterior delts, all right? So don't let that happen to you. And as far as a bodybuilding situation goes, asymmetry, you don't want to have big ass rounded shoulders in the front and no meat in the back. Real simple rule there. Create balance by addressing all three heads of the deltoids and you're going to have a more well-rounded look. That means going from the anterior to the medial and yes, the posterior. Make sure to cover all three of those rules and I can guarantee you in no time you're going to have some sick ass boulders for shoulders. Hey dude, thanks for watching. If you did enjoy this video and want more of the latest, greatest, most kick-ass, proven, no nonsense, no bullshit ways to turn yourself into an explosive, strong, ass-kicking machine that looks good while kicking ass, then do yourself a favor. Click the subscribe button you see right there and I'm going to keep you up to date on the fastest, most effective ways for you to build more size, strength, explosiveness, speed, and overall that more defined kick-ass look that you're going for. Appreciate your time, guys. Have a good one. Chandler out.